Hey guys, so in the month of February, I completed 4 books. And I'm 9 books behind my reading challenge, but it is only March, so there is still time. So the first book that I read was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, which is a fantasy novel that follows an assassin named Celaena Sardothien, who is brought to the royal palace to compete against other evildoers for a chance to become the king's champion. There's a lot more to this story, so if you guys have not read it, you need to, because this book is amazing. I loved this book. And I love that Celaena is such a relatable main character. I had so much fun following her throughout the story. I liked Crown Prince Dorian. I liked the mystery elements that were mixed into the story. And I really, really like Sarah J. Maas's writing. I was engaged the entire time. This was such a fun read. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Guys, honestly, I have to give a huge thanks to Anne over at Book Your Imagination because she is the one who pushed me to read Throne of Glass. And thank you so much, because I probably would have put the book off even longer if you hadn't told me to read it. So, thank you. I will be leaving a link to Anne's channel in the description box below, so please check her out because she is really cool and she does some really cool videos. She does everything from library tours to book tags to book reviews, and she just has a really awesome channel, so please check her out. The next book that I read, I don't actually have a physical copy of because it is a book that I borrowed, and that is The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh, which is the sequel to The Wrath and the Dawn. If you're not familiar with the story, it is an 1001 Nights retelling. I have to admit that it took me some time to get into the book, but once I did, I actually enjoyed it. Renee Ahdieh's writing is so beautiful, and I thought this was a great way to conclude the story. I rated this one 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The next book that I read was Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. In this book, we follow a character named Juliet who is living isolated from the world because her touch is lethal. But then an organization called the Reestablishment comes in and they want to use her as a weapon. Juliet can't let that happen, so her only choice is to fight back. Honestly, I didn't love this as much as I was hoping I would. It was actually pretty disappointing. Juliet, I didn't hate her, but she could be very irritating at times, and it seriously doesn't help that the entire story is told from her point of view. And Adam, her love interest, I didn't like him. I feel like this book was more about Adam and Juliet than it was about anything else. This is supposed to be a dystopian, but I felt like it was more of a romance book than anything. But it's not all bad. I liked Warner, even though he's a psychopath. I liked the idea of the broken world and the small similarities to X-Men and Warner. I ended up rating this book 3 out of 5 stars. I'm just really hoping that the next book is better. The fourth book that I read was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and oh my gosh, you guys, this book was so good. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling filled with fairies and action and romance, and there is detailed sexy time in here, guys. I don't read a lot of books with sex in it, but I don't think that it took away from the enjoyment of the story at all. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I will be doing a full video review on ACOTAR very soon. I don't know what that was with my finger there, but yeah. So that's what I read, and now I'm going to show you guys the 2 books that I'm promising to read this month. The first one is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, which is the sequel to Throne of Glass. And the second one is Jacoby by William Ritter. I'm just going to read the description really quickly for you guys. Newly arrived in New Fiddleham, New England in 1892, and in need of a job, Abigail Brooke meets R.F. Jacoby, an investigator of the unexplained with a keen eye for the extraordinary, including the ability to see supernatural beings. Abigail has a gift for noticing ordinary but important details, which makes her perfect for the position of Jacoby's assistant. On her first day, Abigail finds herself in the midst of a thrilling case. A serial killer is on the loose. The police, with the exception of the handsome detective Charlie Kane, are convinced that their culprit is an ordinary villain. Jacoby is certain the foul deeds are the work of an inhuman creature, the likes of which the authorities are adamant to deny. I'm really excited to read these, and they both have really, really beautiful covers. Wow. Yeah. Sorry, my sister just gave me chocolate-covered pretzels. She didn't want to be in the video, though. Anyways. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe for more.